So branding is a huge topic, by the way, right? What most people are familiar with is what's called the identity elements. There's two parts really in my mind, two big picture parts. Identity, which is things like logos and taglines and jingles and colors and things like that. That's all on the identity side. I don't really deal with that myself. I do what's called positioning work. Positioning. And this has been my definition for 18 years. How are you different and better than the competition? Period. Different, and because of that difference, a better option. By far the most common thing is a 30-second elevator pitch, right? Everybody that's been in sales, I think, in the history of the world has learned an elevator pitch. But I'm here to tell you that this might be the single worst idea I've ever heard. Among all the things we're going to talk about, I'm going to give you the best shorthand right now of how you can deal with this and just sort of strip it away. I call it the crazy test. Here's the category of business that we're in. Here's why anybody would be crazy to not use us. Do you know the answer to that? It's not the category business that you're in. By the way, most people, when they talk about what they do, they're actually commoditizing themselves because they're talking about the things that are really just the positive attributes of the category alone. 95% of people and companies do 95% the exact same thing as their competition. It's not a criticism, it just is what it is. In any industry, unless someone's just invented something new, this will hold true, and you may as well just think that way because it's pretty much true. It's pretty factual. So it's not a criticism, but you should know that just about everything that you do, that I do, that everybody else does, is just about exactly the same as everybody else in your competitive environment. So if somebody asks me if I train salespeople, yeah, of course I do. But the reason mine's better is because I do verbal branding and simplicity modeling. That's why. See what I did there? You need to be able to do that. Do you know what other people say about you when you're not there? Is it the same? Is it simple? Does it differentiate you? Does it cause that prospect to be genuinely curious to hear more so that they get in touch with you? Usually not out there in the business world, right? Usually not, but it's a massive advantage if this can happen. So the reason this is upsetting to me almost is because maybe that prospect could have been the most important person you met all year. But I didn't know what to say to them. I just said your category or something commoditized. They walk away and say, I know people that do that. I know firms that do that. Lost opportunity, right? I hope that makes sense. So this is a great test of your messaging to see if it actually has power and differentiation behind it. If you can't do that, it's my belief, and the evidence would say that you're losing money every single day. So selling is selling, right? The frontline work, but it's really, really important that this include the execution and operationalization of your brand and your offer. So unified and connected culture. I like the term connected culture or the phrase. Per person in your firm, they should know how they operationalize your brand, how they add value to it. By the way, the reason for this being verbal is because it has to be. I call it verbal branding for a lot of reasons, but it's in recognition of we're dealing with humans, individually and collectively. It all starts up here in somebody's head. So it's a verbal application for branding, literally. And it goes right through the firm. Everybody knows exactly what the positioning is and how they add value to it. It's agnostic. You can use it for your entire firm. You can use it for just about anything. So some examples are to align leadership, important. To align sales ops and marketing, hardly ever done. On the same page culture, product and service, you can do it right at that level. Attract and retain talent, we all read about that, right? One of the hardest things now, there's so much competition for you and for everybody that to attract and retain talent, what ideas will help you do that? These will, your positioning and your differentiation in the market. So it's agnostic to whatever it's needed for, because it's just logic. It's just human logic, top to bottom. What impact do you have beyond your own category of business? So let's go through this a little bit. First of all, a strategic offer helps you solve margin compression, helps you sell to more senior decision makers, and helps you own a position in the market. Strategic means you have insight beyond your category of business. Help them make decisions. That's strategic. It's helping them make decisions towards them growing, them succeeding, them fulfilling their vision and their mission. It also reveals if you can marginalize your competition or if you're going to seem the same.